I said I wanna rock.
Are we gonna be goofing off like this every day?
We're not goofing off. We're creating musical fusion.
Wow, you're amazing, dude.
Thanks. I like to play.
I'm a small reporter from Rolling Stone magazine that's in town to do an exclusive interview with Michael Jackson.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
It is time for the Unsigned and Unhinged Meltdown.
Hey everybody, welcome Unsigned, Unhinged Meltdown. As of course, I am your host, Frank E. And I have with me from, pretty much the same area I am in, the Union League.
Hello.
Hey! How's it going?
Yeah, just so you guys know, the Union League, we got Jared, Chad, Chris, and Ron. These guys are awesome. I met them after the first show that I recorded with the First Rule. They did the show out here, literally 10 minutes away from my house, if that, and got to meet them for the first time. And we shared a mutual love interest in our hatred towards Scott Walker. And,
yes.
Oh, may he burn in hell. I mean, may he have a wonderful life. I mean,
in hell. Yes.
in hell. And shared with them my mutual hatred towards Donald Trump as well.
Oh yeah.
And that's how we roll. I mean, I honestly, I can't stand Scott Walker. He has done so much crooked shit, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of the stuff that he did the stuff that he did. Stuff needed to happen, but how he went about it was totally messed up.
Right.
Like the state of Wisconsin was in a massive debt, and we were in a massive deficit. And how he went about fixing it was like, dude, seriously. Now you made everybody that was in the middle class now pretty much almost be in the lower class. It's like, dude, seriously. Why'd you do that? Anyway, before we get started, I have been talking to for most of the last hour probably what I'm now going to recognize, besides the bands that come on the show, our first real fan at Unsigned Unhinged Meltdown. So I'm giving a shout out to Brandy Boo. All right, Brandy Boo. So this is the shout out. I told you we're going to get one. So there it is. Okay. Anyway, getting on to the Union League. The question that I always start off with everything is the name, the Union League. How did you come up with the band name? Like, who came up with the idea, and is there a serious meaning behind the band name?
Well, it just kind of came down to a vote. We had a bunch of different names that we kind of came up with, and that was the one we kind of liked the most.
Yeah.
Me and Chris are in the union at our work, so we are actual union members.
Yep.
So it kind of meant a little more, I guess, in that.
And especially when we're going through all that stuff with Scott Walker.
Right.
It's at the perfect time, I guess.
Right. My brother's a cop up north, had a lot of effect on the police union. My dad worked in a foundry when I was a kid. I mean, it basically kept him safe. It wasn't necessarily the greatest job, but it made things tolerable for him.
Yeah.
Right. So we kind of all, in a way, had some sort of union side to us.
Yeah.
So we thought it was pretty cool. The logo actually was drawn by Ron.
That would be me.
Quite a while ago. We actually wanted to use it for a different band, but that band didn't work out. So we used it for this one because we thought, Union League, what better way to put it out there than put that guy on the back of the shirt and the crosshairs and fire it out.
I love the logo, and it's actually, like, for those of you that know, I have, on the back of my blazer, I have any local band that gives me a sticker. It's sitting on the back of that window. And nice. I have my Union League sticker right in the back of my car. And I actually had someone come up to me saying, dude, I would love to have Scott Walker in my crosshairs. I'm like,
yes,
dude, you're all great in my book, dude. And I'm like, but it's actually a band. They're like, well, dude, if that's the band's like mission, then dude, sign me up to listen to that band. And I'm like, and I told them about you guys. I was like, dude, go find them on Facebook. They're a great band. Go watch them live, dude. They're just awesome, and they're a great group of guys. And like, dude, they party hard. So
yeah, we did that night.
Oh gosh, like seriously, I think like towards the end of the night, you guys were like 12 sheets to the wind.
Wait. We don't play punk rock. We play drunk rock.
Which,
pretty much was that night.
Which,
agreed.
Like these guys are serious, like the old school classic punk. I'm talking like Rancid, Pennywise, old school Offspring, old school Green Day. That's the style of punk that you guys do. Not this Blink 182, like pop punk. Same thing that they're doing with like the country stuff now. It's all like poppy punk. It's like, dude, get grungy, get dirty.
Everyone was doing that again, so we decided to go back a step.
Yeah,
we're trying to play for all those kids who like skateboarding. Yeah,
you gotta get in there, gotta get grungy and dirty. So, man, I like speaking of the old punk scene, like I think my first punk album I ever heard when I was growing up was Green Day, Dookie, and then someone had told me, he's like, oh yeah, they got other stuff that came out before this, and then I went out and bought 1039 Smooth Out Slappy Hours, which is the longest title for an album I think I've ever heard in my life. Right. But dude, that album was so much better than Dookie.
So much better.
And just like Offspring, like I heard Ignition.
Oh, yeah.
And was like, dude, I'm like Smash. Like I thought Smash was the coolest thing since sliced bread, and then I heard Ignition, and I was like, screw Smash. Ignition is like better than Smash.
Oh yeah,
nice.
And then everything after that was like, oh, we're now radio friendly, trendy music.
Sure.
Yeah. But my favorite punk band of all time, which I brought this up with. I talk about this with Nick all the time. Nick with the first roll. Bad Religion is, in my opinion, the greatest punk band ever.
Sure.
That's probably the first punk rock album I bought. Actually a Bad Religion album.
I
love them.
Yeah, it's Summerfest like years ago. I think it was during their Stranger Than Fiction. They were touring with Pearl Jam, and they did a show at Summerfest. And I wanted to see Pearl Jam. But I really wanted to see Bad Religion, and my friend really, really wanted to see Pearl Jam. So we couldn't afford 2 tickets, so we bought a ticket. I went in for Bad Religion, came out, gave him a ticket. He went in for Pearl Jam. That's how we did it, and it worked.
Yeah, I think that was like 93. Sounds about the year.
I think it was 93 or 94, something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember that tour.
But oh man. I saw Bad Religion live, so I was just like, oh. Dude, they put on a great show live. Great.
And Jared
show.
actually got the pleasure to open up for Bad Religion once.
We did. That was a while ago. Yeah, that was what, like 2002, 2004. I think 3 or 4. Yeah, we played right before them at the rave. That's when they were with Rise Against open for them too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Well, I can imagine because you guys were on the bill, so
Well, yeah.
Tooting the horn.
Thank you. But yeah, I agree. Bad Religion's awesome.
Yeah,
incredible.
Definitely, in my opinion, like one of the greatest bands of all time. They're in my top 5 of greatest bands of all time.
Agreed.
My personal favorite is Rush. They're my favorite band of all time. But like Bad Religion is in my top 5.
Nice.
Anyway, we're getting off track like we always do. We always tend to tangent off in places here. But that's what we do. We're talking about music. So anyway, getting back to the Union League, how did you guys actually form, and how long has the Union League been together as a band?
I'd say we've been together as a band since probably 2013, 14, somewhere in there.
Well, not all of us.
Well, not all of us. Well, probably 2015. with all of us.
Probably around 2015, maybe.
Yeah,
probably around 2015.
Yeah, but
Could've been
me and Chris used to play in a band before called TSMS. We played that from probably 2002 till probably about 2005.
Okay.
And me and Ron were in a band before called Gearbox, which was around from 94.
Forever.
Yeah, 94 till probably about 2013. I think we played our last show.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Somewhere around
Sure, why not?
So yeah, we've been a couple of us have been playing together for a long time. And
Yeah, Chris ran into me at volleyball, and he was like, "Hey, don't you play bass?" Chris and I were in a band together in high school.
In high school, yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "You should come try out." I was like, "Well, I don't really try out. I'll come jam with you guys if you want."
Right.
Yeah, these things happen.
Yeah.
So we've all known each other through through each other for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, and I believe it was like when I came to the show. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll bite the bullet on this one. But I believe it was Chad was like the first one to come to me saying, "Don't I know you from somewhere?"
That's true. That's true.
And I'm like, "Oh crap, what did I do?" I'm like, "What did I do?" But because I was like a huge part in the gaming community for so long, everybody knew who I was. Like I was just like the big guy that usually had like tons of decks that I carried around. Back in my heyday of playing Magic all the time.
Ah.
I mean that's what I did. I mean on Friday night I was there. That was my thing, and I don't do it so much now because it's just way too expensive to keep up with, and
Sure.
I got so much other things that I'd rather do, like this podcast. I'd rather be doing this and going to shows on Friday nights, Thursday nights, Saturday nights, than spending my money playing Magic. I mean I like to play, but I'd rather be doing this or going to a concert having a great time than pissing my money away and being like, damn, I lost.
Yeah, exactly.
So now when I had spoke with Ron and when I was talking with you guys about everything that was going on, at the moment there's no hardcore music that you guys have out. Is there something in the works for getting some physical music out in the hands of the fans?
Hands of the fans.
Yes, the hands of the hands and the fans.
We've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah. It's just been more of a financial thing, coming up with the money. But yes, we do intend on putting an actual real release out.
We're getting close.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So-
as most guys know, it's like I have to tell this repeatedly to the listeners and to the fans that it's not as easy as you think. I mean, we all like to have a hard CD to listen to
Sure.
and be like, hey, I own the physical copy. But there's a lot of work behind actually, getting that out there to you guys. I mean, some places it's like $500, $400, if not more, for just to record one song.
Sure.
Yeah, when you're playing out and making like $20,
Yeah, it gets kind of hard.
and everybody here has families,
Right. You get paid $20, we spend 80 on alcohol.
Yep. Like,
Well, usually that's included, but it does get hard because, like I said, a lot of the shows we played have been a lot of benefits, which I'm more than fine with playing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do physically get paid, you're not making much because you got to really break it between, how many bands you played with and everything else. You want to be fair to people.
Pay the sound guy.
Pay the sound guy and everything else. By the time that's done, unless you're a touring band, it's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
The sad part is, like, if you say you have a $5 cover, people are like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I can make that one.
Yeah.
But if you play free, they'll come out.
yeah, it's and like I said, I have a show that I'm hosting in July, guys. And I've told everybody it's like $5 cover charts. That's not much to see 4 bands play.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, for that's actually great. And the bands that I have on the bill are not just like, oh yeah, they got together last week to play. No, these are bands that have been actually playing for a while and are actually very talented. I have Audiophilia that's coming on, the Day Rollers, Static Signal. I mean, Hey Captain Night. These guys have been around for a while, and Hey Captain Night just actually played Summerfest. So obviously they have some talent that you're actually playing at Summerfest. So,
And you need a fifth band?
trust me, like as soon as like I have a show in July, I have a show in August, and if I get one in September, which I'm hoping and praying I do, trust me, I'm reaching out to you guys. So don't think I haven't thought about it already. But like when I was talking with Jared about putting together the show in, I think it was August when I was doing it at McCullough's, the day that I had, I think it like didn't connect well, or I was talking with Ron. I was talking with one of you guys on Facebook, and
I think you're talking to Ron.
Yeah, the date that I had just was conflicting with someone else's schedule. So
sure.
Don't think I didn't reach out to you guys, because I did.
Not at all.
The date was just conflicting, which it happens because you got four or five guys in a band. It's not like they just all live together and work on the same schedule. They have families, they have jobs, and I mention this all the time. Like my good friend Chris, that's in the first rule, he's got 3 jobs plus he's a family man. Come on, like seriously, it's hard work. Plus he's in a band. That's like technically 5 jobs. How does he sleep? I don't know, but he gets it done. But
sure,
a lot more hard in the summer too, because you want to cram a year's worth of stuff in 3 months because it's nice out.
Yeah, you use up all your vacation before recess.
Right.
So now, one of the first songs that we're going to play that you guys actually have, which it's on Reverbnation, guys, so if you want to take a listen to it, the links are going to be right below here, so go ahead, check them out. Go even follow them on Facebook. But the first song that we're going to play is Snap Count. Now, what is there a meaning behind this song, and how did the writing process work for this song?
Well, I wrote this with one of my friends in high school, so it was, it's about war and, the Middle East, and just how pretty much nothing has changed since then. The lyrics still go well to this day.
They ring true.
Yeah, they ring true, and it was just, a time where it was pretty much the same situation. Just nothing has changed, really. It's just a song about war and how it's enough. We've had enough of it.
Yeah, I don't know how many friends I have had whatever. How many friends that I've had that have served their country overseas, and it's just like, dude, like I give them the utmost respect for everything that they've done for us, and for those that have died for our country in the past. It's like, dude, seriously. But I think we've done enough already over there. It's not our business anymore. Let's just pack the guys, bring them home to their families. We don't need to be over there anymore. But,
absolutely agreed. It's been that way for years, to the point where the original reason we went over there was absolutely wrong with all foreign oil. It's all it was. Obviously after 9/11, that was something different. But before then, we weren't even supposed to be over there. That's not a fight.
Yeah, 9/11. Oh man, that's a whole can of worms I don't want to get involved in right now, because I could sit there and go, George W. Bush, man, I'd like to just Anyway, moving right along.
Yes.
So, guys, check it out. This is the wonderful song. We'll just say wonderful.
Absolutely.
It is a wonderful song, but check it out, guys. This is the Union League with Snap Count. Wow. Wow. I like that song. I really do. I was playing it for my roommate when we were sitting here, and she, Kaylee was actually going to be joining in, but as I said, she works third shift, and she's tired. But Kaylee, I'm giving you a shout out because, I can do that now, and it's my show. I can do what I want, and but she'll be on, in a few episodes that they got coming up because we've talked about it and it works along with their schedule. So, gotta say though, the one thing, because I didn't listen to the lyrics. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There was something that was said on stage, which I talked with Ron about this, and I turned my head away because I myself am probably one of the biggest supporters of the franchise of the Fast and the Furious. I love those movies. I love them. I really do. And then the comment was made about Paul Walker, and to me, it was like, dude, nails on the chalkboard. You're trying to gain a fan. Don't do it.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
I came to band practice like the day after his death, and I was like, dude, I got this song.
Yeah.
And then I was like, too soon?
And we wrote it, obviously called Too Fast, Too Furious.
We changed the lyrics for a while.
We had to change the lyrics because it was like, all right, this is too much. So we made it more about a love song, or I guess a breakup love song.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like,
relationship going too fast.
Yeah.
When Paul Walker died, I remember exactly where I was. How bad this is, because people remember like where they are for very like historic moments in life, like when 9/11 happened, people remember where they were, or when JFK was shot, people remember where they were. I remember where I was when Paul Walker died, because to me that was like, oh, no. And I'm not going to lie, I was at the Doctor Who con in Chicago. I was at the Chicago TARDIS, and the news broke on TV. And my girlfriend at the time was with me, and she saw me come. She was like down in the pool swimming. She comes up and she sees me crying, and she's like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "Paul Walker died." And she's like, "Who the hell is Paul Walker?" And I was like, and I sat there and I jaw dropped, and I was like, "You should turn around and get out of this hotel room right now." And she's like, "What did I do?" And I'm like, just go away. You need to give me space right now because of what you just said. But I mean, a lot of people just sit there and go, "But he's just a famous person." But you got to realize, famous people, whether they're famous or not, their job is to touch us common folk, quote unquote.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I remember when Eddie Guerrero passed away, because I'm a huge wrestling fan. I remember when he passed away, I was like, "Oh, Eddie Guerrero died?"
Right.
I mean, but like I remember where I was when Kurt Cobain died. But anyway, we're getting sappy and sad. Let's get into some real stuff that matters right now. Oh God, let's talk about some grungy rock. So, I mean, you guys have been around since like 2015. We're mid 2017 right now, and I'm assuming that you guys haven't played, because I know from what I've talked to with JJ at McCullough's, he said that you guys have played there a lot.
Yeah.
But what are some of the favorite venues that you guys actually had a chance to play at since you guys been going around playing shows?
To be fully honest, McCullough's is probably one of our favorites because the sound there is great.
It's always fun.
It's a good environment to be in.
JJ always treats us really nice too.
Yeah,
absolutely, and we appreciate that. To be honest with you, we haven't played a whole ton of places. We just played George's a couple times, which is cool to play there. Evelyn's, we've played.
Yacht Club.
We did for Thoughts for Food. We played, the Racine Yacht Club and Rhino Bar.
What's it?
couple times.
Not John Star.
Oh
yeah, we played. They changed the name 6,000 times.
Oh, Wharf 209. Yeah, but now it's called Boosters Bayou
Boosters
or something like that.
Or something.
Yeah,
No.
but yeah, we really haven't played too many extremely different places.
We like playing Evelyn's. We like playing McCullough's.
Yeah.
Those two bars kind of fit our style.
Yeah,
I think
we
so
feel
too.
most comfortable there.
Right.
I would say for like as small of a venue as McCullough's is, you would think like, oh, a small bar, the sound's not going to be that great, but the sound is really good in that bar.
Absolutely.
It really is, because
He really knows music, and he knows that he's a music lover, so he wants it to sound good, regardless of who's playing.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I got a show there in August, and I'm really excited for that show. That show is going to be. I got a great lineup, and I got my good friends Fatal Havoc from Chicago coming up, and I'm trying to get them up here in Racine more because I want them to break out up here and start getting a lot of gigs up here. So I'm like, dude, I want you guys up here. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll do it. I'm like, I know you will. So yeah, I'm not even worried about it. But whew.
Plus, a lot of times we play at McCullough's, and JJ, we're playing a benefit show, and JJ's like, well, here's $100 or $150. Like we already thought we were going to play for free, but he just slip us some cash for playing it, which is really nice.
Yeah.
He always goes out of his way to make us feel welcome there.
Yeah, because the show that I saw you guys play was a fundraiser.
Yep.
Yes.
And that was with two bands that I already knew, which was The First Rule and Resistance. I've been friends with Mimi for a very long time, and I've been friends with Chris even longer. And, Chris tells me, oh yeah, we're doing a show with Resistance and the Union League. I'm like, I don't know who the Union League is, but if you got them on the bill, they got to be good. Because
actually, we kind of slipped on that show because I had originally wanted to book a show on that date, and JJ's like, well, we already have a show booked. You can ask the guys if you can get on it. And I wound up talking to Chris in The First Rule, and he's like, yeah, you guys can get on it. So originally we were not booked on it. Yeah, we were let on, but it was awesome. Yeah, it was great to play with both those guys. They were so nice. All the guys in The First Rule were super nice. Yeah, Mimi and the Resistance, she's awesome. Yeah, they were really fun to play with.
Yep, it's a lot of fun.
I actually met Mimi when I DJ'd at a bar in Kenosha, and I was a karaoke DJ, and she came with her boyfriend Josh, he's also in the band, and she was doing karaoke, and she was doing Led Zeppelin. She's like, I'm going to do Led Zeppelin. I'm just sitting there looking like a girl trying to do Led Zeppelin. Yeah, right. And then she nails it. I'm like, wow, you kind of nailed that one. She's like, oh yeah, well, I'm in a band. And I'm like, oh, well, what do you play? I'm like, well, what do you play? She goes, oh, I sing. And I'm like, well, clearly.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So, oh man. So now, when you play at McCullough's, I mean, has there been any other bands that you guys have actually had an opportunity to play with that have been like, oh yeah, these guys are great, other than the two that we have just mentioned?
I'm trying to think of all the times we played there. The time we played the Square, we played with some really good bands. A band called Hanging Fire. Mm-hmm. We're actually pretty good friends of Chad. A couple guys in that band really well, and we know a couple guys. So they're really, really, really good guys. And Tape Benders from Milwaukee were there too. Super nice guys. I know Tony Rogan for years. He's a drummer in that band, and a really good friend of mine. So that was probably one of the more memorable shows as far as playing with people that we really liked. And Loyal Subjects we played with quite a few times.
Yeah.
I've known Eric Wennerholm for a while. Super good guy. And yes, we just played with Slaughter Party this past Saturday. Super nice guys.
Yeah,
I was supposed to be at that show. But as I told you earlier, what happened, which I'm not going to put that on the show, but you know what happened, so it was just like, want to be there and I can't be there. I haven't been to any shows this month, which for me, for people that know me, that's just like, is there something wrong with you right now? They know something's wrong because it's like, oh, there's a show. It's within 25, 30 minutes from me. I'm there. Yeah. And I haven't been to anything this month, which is really, really sad. Which I'll make up for that because, like, in July, for those of you guys that know, in July, Taste of Wisconsin in Kenosha, and it's like you can sit there and watch local music all day long. Which I can't wait for Taste of Wisconsin. That's like my Graceland, so to speak.
Nice.
It's like, oh yeah, Taste of Wisconsin. I look forward to it every year. So now you guys have played like a lot of smaller stages,
Yes.
but would you guys say you would prefer to play a larger stage where like you guys can interact with each other more, or do you like playing the smaller stages where it's like more intimate with the crowd?
To be honest with you, I don't have huge experience on a bigger stage. When I was playing with Ron here in Gearbox, we did happen to play one place called the Globe East, which was in Milwaukee, which was the biggest stage I've ever been on.
It was like an aircraft carrier. It was enormous.
It was absolutely huge. I don't think it's there anymore, but
you could barely see each other.
We weren't told this beforehand, but apparently we were supposed to bring people to watch us. We thought we were just auditioning for like the people that own the place, and afterwards they're like, "Yeah, you guys were supposed to bring people." I'm like, "What?" Okay, so we had like nobody there because we thought we were just playing for them.
A Wednesday night at midnight.
Yeah, and a Wednesday night of all things. But that place was just huge, and you felt kind of lost a little bit on it. But I'd be more than willing to play big stages. Absolutely,
I'd play anything, but all my favorite shows were like in a basement that holds 50 people and it's crowded.
Yeah.
Those are funner.
The garage concerts or basement concerts are great.
Right.
I played a couple shows at the Brat Stop. We opened for like Rat and White Snake, sold out shows. That was pretty fun,
Well, the Brat Stop is just legendary, though.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, for me, personal experience, I don't have tons on a bigger stage. Like I said, we did do the rave a couple of times,
the rave.
but that was more of a pay-to-play kind of thing. But other than that,
the year before you came in the band, I played Eagles Club in Racine for Thoughts for Food, and there was over 700 people there, and that's a pretty big stage, and that was one of the most fun shows I've probably ever played, just because it's actually a crowd that was getting into it, and everybody was there for the music only. So
I'm gonna put this out there, but some of my favorite concerts I ever played were like back in the day when Cooler Exchange was around. We were playing like all ages shows.
Yeah, all ages are always more fun because more people come.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's more people come, and the kids get it.
Yeah,
that's the best way to put it. Obviously, the older you get, not for me. I like to get crazy out there, but some people just don't want to do that anymore, and the kids get it.
I think there's a rebellious side that comes with being a teenager.
Plus the punk rock,
Especially the kind of music we play, we want people to be out there, beating each other up. To put it lightly, and just have a good time. You know what I mean? Just go out there and get into it. Don't stand there like with their arms crossed and do nothing.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for like all ages type shows,
absolutely.
I would definitely say, because I think it's too late to do it now, but you could always try. I know Taste of Wisconsin is, like I said, it's an all ages type thing.
Sure.
And I don't know if they're completely booked up yet, but I would say, give them a shout. You never know.
Sure.
And I'll be there, so I'd be like, hey, look, Union League, yeah!
Nice.
And as everybody knows, I'm probably like the most crippled individual that goes to a rock show. But dude, I always bring it. Like I'm always bringing it for like the guy that's like disabled. It's like, yeah,
right.
I don't care, because it's just like, dude, I fell off a bar stool. I'm still rocking.
That's awesome.
But
that's what we need. don't mind playing like the bar stages or whatever. That's fine, but it's just everybody's sitting on their hands, man. Like no one does anything, and it kind of gets a little annoying because you want to feel that energy, and a lot of times you don't. And it's great. Hey, people clap after your song. That's awesome. But hey, when we're playing, I want to see you out there moving. And nobody does, and it's kind of we try to still have our own energy, and that's the thing about us. We don't really care. We're gonna get into it nonetheless. So
we'll still try to bring energy, even though people aren't responding with it. Yeah. But
I had this talk with Allison, which the interview was aired on or was posted on Wednesday. We had this discussion where it's just like if a band has energy, they're gonna bring it on stage, but if the crowd does not have energy, the band's still going to have energy, but if you have energy, they're going to have even more energy because they're going to feed off of your energy.
That's 100% true.
It's just like if there's a guy that's sitting in the front and he's just kind of standing there like, yep, I'm here. All right. But if there's a guy like me that's just like, oh, yeah, what's going on? I'm here to rock.
Right.
And the band's going to be like, oh, hell yeah. Look at this guy. We'll put on the whole show just for this guy because this guy's bringing it.
Yeah, even if it's just one guy, we'll play for you.
100%.
As long as you're having fun.
One guy takes his shirt off and has two teeth.
That was at Wharf 209 we played with Loyal Subjects. This one guy, he just made the night, man. He was insane. Like he was he was just moshing with himself, and it was the best. But that's all I asked for. Just get into it. You're there at a rock show, for God's sake, man. Don't sit there.
If you ever end up playing at either Friday Ween or Shrimpfest at Broadstop, I'm letting you know now, there is a guy, and he comes, and he is the most flamboyant guy in the world, and he'll just sit there and dance in front of every stage. Ask Chris about this if you still talk to the guys from the first row. Ask him about the dancing guy at Broadstop. Just ask him about the dancing guy, which, if by any chance he's ever listening to any of my shows, I want you on here one time, just one time, and I want to interview the dancing guy at Broadstop. Because I sat there and had a conversation with him like about a half hour at the last Shrimp Fest, and I was just like, dude, I envy you, dude, with the balls that you got, just sitting there dancing, like just dancing, not even like slam dancing. He's like just like doing some poetry and motion type stuff, and it's just like you're dancing not even to the beat of the song, but you don't even care. You're just out doing your thing, and I like that. Because you're enjoying the music, but you're doing your own thing, and I like that, and I appreciate that.
You need more of that.
Exactly. So
we need more people to go out to Facebook and like us, so they can see our next shows, and we can reach out to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
Speaking, you just segued into my next question.
There we go.
All right. So, how do you guys feel that social media affects the local music industry? Do you feel it hinders it, or do you really feel it's a tool that to take advantage of and just push yourself out there?
It could be. Absolutely. It's so much more of a world now than it was before. Back in the 90s when I was playing, it was all flyers.
Yeah, flyers standing outside of record stores.
Yeah.
Flyers and telephone poles and record stores.
Right.
Yeah.
And we do that forever, and it's still, you might get 5 people to show up.
Yeah.
But now, it's endless. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it can be used.
Definitely help.
Every show we play, we get more likes, which is huge for me. We get at least like 3 or 4 more likes at least.
Well, as soon as I heard you guys play, I was the first or second song, I was like, "Who are these guys again?" Oh yeah, go and like them on Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah. And I can't remember who it was that I talked to after the show, but there was the bashing of Donald Trump that was happening, and
yes.
I immediately showed you the picture that I had that was actually my profile pic for the longest time. It was Trump Tower with the eye of Sauron, and I was just like, dude, you gotta see this.
Yeah.
And it was, dude, send that to us on Facebook.
Yeah,
Like-
that was me. I told you, I was like, you have to send that immediately.
I'm like, done. It's done. Just post it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I saw that and I was like, yoink. Profile pic.
That's awesome.
It ruined a friendship because one of my really good really good friends was a huge Trump supporter, and he really hated that I did that. And I'm like,
I thought
dude.
you were saying good Lord of the Rings fan.
And I'm like, well, dude, it's a joke, and I understand that you like Trump, and that's fine. That's your opinion. You're right, and it's your right to it. I do not like him, and it's my opinion, and I have the right to my opinion. Just like when I bought a shirt that was Harley Quinn bashing Donald Trump with a baseball bat.
God, nice.
He was just like, dude, that's just wrong. And I'm like, dude, that's funny as hell.
Yeah, I agree. And just the fact that it costs you a friendship over that.
Which is ridiculous.
What stock do you really own in it?
Yeah.
Like to the point where it's like gonna break people up. That's what's sad to me.
It's opinion, and it's not going to change anybody else's thoughts on who you vote for or who you support.
Mm-hmm.
You just get along.
Right,
I'm not going to change anybody's mind because I don't support Trump.
No.
But we'll write songs about it, and the people that don't support him will like it. But the people that do, they're not going to change their mind, and they might like the melody. Cool.
Well, what's funny is literally I wrote that song in probably about 15 seconds. Because once we had the rhythm and stuff down, it just kind of came to me, and I've actually recently wrote a second verse to it, which is still came within about a minute. But that's what fuels my very disdain towards that guy. I just don't get it, but apparently,
not a fan.
No, not a fan. But I'm
happens.
not going to bash here, but I just don't. I don't get it. It's beyond me to put a reality star in the White House and expect that to be how Americans run.
It's just sad when The Simpsons predicted him
They did.
being president as a joke, and then it happens. Come on.
The sad thing that was, though, and I've had this discussion numerous times with numerous people, when it came down to this year's presidential election, it was, like everyone says, it's picking between the lesser of two evils. This year, it literally was picking between the lesser of two evils. You had Donald Trump, which I was like, dude, he has no business being in the White House at all. And then there was Hillary Clinton, who was like a serious, literal, legitimate criminal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, honestly, I honestly wanted to vote for a third party. But like the majority of Americans that wanted to vote for a third party, they did not, because they had the fear, if I vote for a third party, my vote is just being thrown away. Exactly. So I had to honestly go, who do I want? Would I rather have Trump or would I rather have Clinton? And I'm like, well, I really don't want Clinton. I really don't want Trump. But if I don't vote, then it's just like, okay, then I have, it's just like, dude, I didn't want either one of them in, but I think in my own opinion at the time, I was like, dude, I'd rather have Trump than Clinton. That was my honest opinion when I was going in. And I was like, dude, if I don't vote, then Clinton's probably going to get in office. Yeah. And now I'm sitting there like, dude, I wish I didn't have voted. Because either way, I was just like, I'm throwing my vote away.
Yeah. Then that's the thing, even when, I'm not meaning to take this all up being political, but that's where I think the DNC really messed up, is they knew they wanted her. Bernie didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
He got huge ratings. The guy was huge.
Yeah. I think
people were all over for him, but they wanted her.
Yep.
They promised her, and that was it.
Yep.
I mean, that even came out that
I
they
think
wanted
Bernie
her.
would have won too.
So, I mean, you already shot yourself in the foot because you took the person who everybody hated to begin with, and you put him against Trump. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, Bernie would have grabbed all the undecided votes.
It's insane to think that. And look how many was it, the one, the ape that got shot in Cleveland, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hombre or whatever? Harambe?
Hombre.
Yeah.
Harambe.
Look how many people voted for that.
Yeah.
Instead of Trump.
Like there was two people going into the election like into the primaries where I'm like this person and this person. And I was like Bernie Sanders, like we just discussed, or Kasich. Those were the two that I'm like, dude, these are the two that if they win, that's who I'm voting for. And in the primaries, I voted for Kasich, and I threw my vote away because he had no chance in hell. Anyway, we're talking about politics. We don't need to talk about music. But see what happens when you talk about like a hot topic like
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's over. You know,
it's over. But it's never over, and everybody has the right to their incorrect opinion. I'm just gonna keep saying that. Trump is great. It's your own incorrect opinion. Anyway, moving on. So we're gonna talk about the next song that we're gonna spin with these guys, which is "United We Bargain," which. This song just like it has so much energy in it.
Thanks.
And I gotta ask, because I'm almost like 99.9% sure where the beginning speech was from, but where exactly was that from? I can't remember exactly.
It was Tom Morello's speech in Madison.
Oh, that's
right.
Okay. I was like, dude, was that when he was, like, I'm like, dude, it's not Who I Hate. I know it's not.
Yeah, it's when he showed up as the night watchman up in Madison and played.
Okay. All right.
That logo that we kind of wrote that from.
I found it. I was the United We Bargain, Divided We Beg. I was scrolling through something, Facebook or something, and I found a logo that had a fist, and it said "United We Bargain, Divided We Beg." And I was like,
Chris was like, we should use this as a logo. I was like, no, we should write a song about it.
Yeah.
We literally wrote that song like 30 seconds.
Yeah, we sat down. We're like, all right, let's do it. And then we put our heads together, kind of decided what we wanted it to sound like. Played some guitar chords, put some bass and drums to it, and there you go.
We
wrote it.
I think the bass came first, just saying, but...
It's like...
We could all say what came first, but it was a fun song to play.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, check it out. This is United We Bargain.
It is my belief that the future of the rights of working people in this country will not be decided in Congress. It will not be decided in the courts. It will not be decided on talk radio. That the future of the rights of working people in this country will be decided on the streets of Madison, Wisconsin. You're making history here, and the whole world is watching.
Oh, bad. So that was the anti-ISK, you-know-who, I would say. Yeah, we're just not even going to talk about him anymore because that just gets us on tangents.
Yeah.
Yes,
It gets us on tangents, and we just don't want a tangent. But one more time, I'm going to bring up. It's not a tangent. It's about music. But you heard the song because I believe you guys were all still there. I know one of you guys took off and left. Anyway, we're not going to mention names. Chris, he left kind of early, but you know.
He did.
Yeah, we
Chris,
punched him.
We were all too drunk to leave.
Chris doesn't like bringing the stuff back home, you know. He doesn't like carrying anything.
Well, when I played that show, I had a 3-week-old baby. So.
Oh well, see that's a decent excuse then, guys. You should have said that to me because
I don't accept it.
as you guys left, as you had already left, I'm like, hey, so can I get a picture with you guys? And they were like, yeah, sure. I'm like, aren't you missing somebody? Oh, he's gone. And I'm like, did he?
Yeah, you got the good core of the group.
I don't remember taking this picture. Did we take
I remember.
a
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I was too drunk. Take me home. I'm drunk.
That was probably the second drunkest I've played.
Yeah, literally. The next day was not good.
It wasn't good for me, and I left early. So
the picture did happen. It's up on my Instagram. If you don't believe me, guys, it's there. I'm just saying, it's there. So, and I'm, you know what? When I do the video, I might actually just post that up here, just so you guys can say, "Oh, it did happen. It did." Oops. So, all right, we're gonna get into some personaler. That's a word. I said it. Screw it. It is. It's a word. I said it. So. Let's get into some questions to get to know you guys on a more personaler level. Leveler, personaler, leveler. So, all right, if you guys could go on tour with any band, whether they're alive, dead, broken up, who would you guys want to go on tour with?
Well, that's hard.
Jawbreaker and Fugazi together.
Pennywise opening and Pennywise closing would be awesome.
I think Ron wants to go on tour with Pennywise. Yeah, me and Chad are literally like the hugest Jawbreaker fans.
Yeah, big fan.
So for the fact that they're playing Ride Fest this year is incredible.
And Mariah Carey.
Well, yeah.
I've been playing with their cover band, Off Faker.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, that's pretty huge. My other most favorite, actually, this is the band that got me into punk altogether. And they are playing Ride Fest this year, is Bad Brains. I love the Bad Brains.
That'd be cool.
They were a huge influence for me when I was growing up in the 80s. So, yeah, I'm old. And
you are.
So that, for me, would be like the dream. I'd want the Bad Brains to play and Jawbreaker. So, yeah, they're playing Ride Fest, so I could easily go.
My favorite band was always AFI, but the new stuff is kind of garbage, but I would do like 2001 AFI.
Yeah, that was.
And like I'm a huge Anti-Flake fan, Bouncing Souls, Pennywise, Bad Religion. So any one of those bands, I'd be okay with.
It'd be fun to play like Local H, Bad Religion.
Local H
just
would be
have
amazing.
like a Wisconsin band show, you know.
I would have loved to have been able to play with Beastie Boys. That'd have been awesome.
Beastie Boys.
Yes. That would be awesome.
So you guys can now get your tickets for Union League Fest. It's going to be Local H, Bad Religion, Jawbreaker, Pennywise, Bad Brains, and Old School AFI. So get your tickets now. They're on Ticketmaster.com. I mean,
for $820 a piece.
Yeah, that'll literally be like about $1 million. You can get in.
Yeah, but I'll be backstage, so
absolutely. Come on.
I mean, like, dude, I made it happen. Let me get backstage. All right, I got to meet Bad Religion. All right, deuces. But seeing as you mentioned Local H, I can tell you guys this.
Yes. A good Warped Tour.
Yeah.
I got to see Local H back in Zion when they were playing at I'm brain farting on the bar now. Fritz's Corner. They were playing at Fritz's Corner. I was at a show at Fritz's Corner.
Nice.
And someone had said, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm a huge Local H fan," and like I had him on the show, And I was like, yeah, I got to see them at Fritz's Corner back in Zion. And they're like, no way. And I'm like, yes. And I got their very first CD before like they got really popular mainstream. Yeah. I bought Ham Fisted like the day it came out.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
And everyone was like, everyone like in the Kenosha Zion area was like, oh yeah, Local H got a CD that came out. And then they had Bound to the Floor on MTV, and everyone's like, they're not as Local H as they used to be.
That song is garbage.
Yeah. You know what though? Like Joe Daniels is like the most amazing guy, dude.
I almost cried when I found out Joe Daniels wasn't in the band anymore. I remember I was at the show. And they started setting up the drum set for a right-handed drummer. I was like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
I was like, this is not okay.
It wasn't. I was at that show too, and it was like, what the hell happened?
I think the entire crowd booed them for like 7 songs straight.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Yeah,
everybody's chanting, "Bring back Joe," and it was bad. I think they left early too because like they were getting like harassed.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Never told anybody.
Yeah, they didn't tell anybody. They just came out.
They just came out, and all of a sudden they played this way, and I was like, what?
I was pissed.
But yeah, Joe Daniels.
I would say probably my favorite song that wasn't on Ham Fisted was Hands on the Bible. Like I love that song. I think that song jams.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people are like, yeah, but it's not Local H. But I think the song, I can jam to that song. I'm just saying, I really can. But
they do have a lot of good songs. Yeah.
There is a lot of good songs. You know, like High Five in Mother What.
Yeah.
High Five in Mother What.
In Atlanta. I saw them in Atlanta in, it had to be 96. And that was the song they opened with. And Scott Lucas wound up stepping on his guitar cord and unplugged it from his amp. So he got so mad. I remember, like, you know, because that song hits so hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he went to hit his guitar and he hit it, and nothing happened. I thought he was gonna destroy the stage after that.
They played that. They played at Summerfest. The fireworks going in the background. That's probably one of my most memorable shows.
I was there.
I was there.
It's a good show.
Yep.
I got to meet Scott Lewis when they were at Fritz's Corner. Hey. Let me tell you, that is like one of the most chill guys I think I've ever met in a long time. That guy was just like, "Oh, you like our music? That's so cool. You want a beer?" And I'm like, "All right, you're offering. Let's do it." And I'm like,
I've drunk with that guy before.
What's that?
I've gotten so drunk with that guy before, like in his hotel rooms after shows.
I would love.
Yeah, it's like a party. Not
you're so good at
not
a drunk.
Yeah.
I would love to run into him now and be like, "Hey, do you remember the time at Fritz's Corner when you got me a beer?" He'd be like, "Who are you again?"
Yeah, he'd be like,
he wouldn't remember yesterday. I'm pretty sure.
But that was a great show. That was a really good show. And I think they actually, I can't remember what it was because I don't have the CD right in front of me, but there was a song that was on As Good as Dead that they actually played at that show. And then when Ham Fisted came out, I'm like, was looking for that song because I liked it. And then when As Good as Dead came out and I bought it, and I'm like, oh, that was the song that they played at the... And I like right now I don't remember what it was called, but I remember they played it. But
yeah.
Anyway, as we're talking about great bands, let's just sit there and say what was. Now you guys clearly you guys haven't known each other since birth, so you guys can each individually field this question. But what was the first concert that you've ever been to?
Oh jeez.
Oh, I can start that. My first concert was Bitch Slap in somebody's basement. Probably one of the best shows ever. Kenosha band. And then I saw Guar the next week. Just saying.
I was like maybe like 13 or something like that. Maybe 12, 13. It was like when remember New Rock Fest?
Yeah.
I think it was the first one. So I guess that was like my first real concert. But it was at the Marcus, so it was like live and all these crappy bands. But then my first real concert, like that I consider, it was Green Day in '94
3 or 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, the first one I couldn't tell you. The first like big concert that I really remember that I really liked was Clash of the Titans, which I think was like 91. It was probably 1991. It had Slayer, Anthrax,
Megadeth.
Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth, and out of those 3 bands, then they had Alice in Chains open, which didn't seem to make much sense, but it was an awesome show.
Gosh, Alice in Chains back in the day. Alice in Chains. Let me just say, Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots are like prime examples of if you're on drugs, you write good music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, because when, Scott Weiland got sober, it was like, dude, what the hell? Like, what are you writing about? I don't get it. I really don't. But I don't condone drugs, but I'm just saying, when you're high on whatever the heck they were high on individually, because I'm pretty sure they had like
Scott Weiland was high on a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
As was Lynn Staley, but I'm just saying, whatever they were on, it was like, dude, like
heroin.
Well, there goes the beer bottles. Anyway.
Oh yeah. All right. Did you hear that?
Nah, we heard that here. But like Jim Morrison, he was on everything.
Oh, we've had a couple.
But I'm just saying, but it's the drugs that you're on, and it just makes you hallucinate and see weird things, and weird lyrics just come out, and dude, it just makes sense. I'm just saying, and like people like, oh yeah, that's awesome, and then, oh, you're sober. What are you writing about? Or prime example of a bad relationship, Adele. Her first album was horrible. 21 came out after a bad breakup, and oh my gosh, this is amazing. Then she had a new album come out, and it's like, can you please just go through another breakup so you can have an album? Dude, just like have your boyfriend cheat on you or something, please, because I don't like your music anymore. Oh, man. Anyway, speaking of albums, what what was the first album that you probably ever got?
Well, let me go back to the concert one. I didn't get to answer.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. My first concert that I remember was Huey Lewis and the News at Summerfest in 1983.
Wow,
yeah, that was my first concert ever. But the first one that I went to on my own was I went to see Gwar at Memorial Hall in 1992. And that was life-changing for me because I'd never seen anything like that. So that was amazing. So those are my two.
That's weird.
The first album I ever got, was that the question? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, the first album I ever bought was Dokken Breaking the Chains. Yeah, real great. That was literally the first record.
It's a lot better than my first album, I guess.
Yeah, that was the first record I ever bought. Oh, go ahead.
I think mine was Beach Boys. When I was like 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You bought it?
Yeah. Like, saved my money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And my parents I didn't know any better. My parents listened to the oldies stations every day. I was like,
hey, this is no knock. The Beach Boys are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to buy these Beach Boys people.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I jammed to that album.
Mine, when I was in elementary school, my parents bought me, don't laugh at me, I know you're going to laugh at me, an LP of the Village People.
Nice.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, now we know why he is the way he is.
As far as the concert goes, like the first concert I went to, I remember what it was now. It was at the State Fair. My parents took me to see the Charlie Daniels Band.
Oh, my.
Awesome.
Now you guys will really laugh at my first album, but...
No.
What is it?
My first album that I ever got was New Kids on the Block.
I knew you were going to say that.
Dude, yes.
But I can make up with it because my first concert I ever went to was AC/DC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I made up. I redeemed myself with my first concert.
I feel like I used to tell girls I like New Kids on the Block just to,
right.
Get on their good side.
Just to say hello.
Yeah.
All right, what was your favorite song from the album, though? Come on.
Dude, I was all about Hangin' Tough, man. That was my jam. I loved that song so much. I was decked out in New Kids merch. I'm just saying. I had the shirt, I had a hat, like I had a sweater. Dude, I was all about the New Kids, and then the fad wore out like 6 months, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I just wasted my money. Kind of like the Adam Sandler movie, That's My Boy, where Andy Samberg had the New Kids on the Block tattoo on his back.
What was that band that made all the kids wear their clothes background?
Crisscross, dude. Crisscross was the shit back in the day, though.
It's funny.
Crisscross was amazing.
It's funny because the second album I bought after the amazing Dokken record was actually DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. He's the DJ, brothers. I'm the rapper.
Dude, I got that
album I ever bought.
Don't lie, it was Shaq Fu.
Oh man, here's something for you. Like I remember, I was listening to, because you brought up DJ Jazzy Jeff. I was jamming that, in my headphones at school. And a guy of mine was like, dude, you got to stop listening to that rap. And I'm like, well, I was kind of going through my rap fad because my cousin was really into it, and he had got me like NWA and Two Live Crew and all that. And
nasty as they want to be.
That was some great stuff.
Like Straight Outta Compton is still like one of my favorite albums of all time.
It is. It's amazing. Easy Does It is one of the best albums ever.
Yeah.
I don't care what it says.
So he hands me a cassette, and he's like, you got to listen to this. And it was Anthrax, Attack of the Killer Bees. And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I liked the song I'm the Man, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then like I get to the end of it, and it was Bring the Noise with Public Enemy, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, at that point in time, I was instantly hooked on Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Public Enemy after that. And my guy was like, what do you think? And I'm like, dude, Public Enemy is awesome. He goes, no, you were supposed to be listening to Anthrax. I'm like, dude, but I'm like, dude, no, Public Enemy is the shit. And he was like, he sat there and was like, oh gosh, we lost you to the wrong side of music, my friend. And I'm like,
no.
Dude, I like everything. Don't get me wrong. Like at that point in time when that CD was out, I had the Black Album, I had Appetite for Destruction, I had Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. I had all that stuff, but I was really starting to get into, the hip hop thing because my cousin was really, really into it. And I'm sitting there playing Straight Outta Compton, and I remember this. I was in my basement, and I was playing Fuck the Police, and my dad comes downstairs and goes, what the hell are you listening to? And I'm like, Dad, NWA. He goes, what does NWA say? And I say the abbreviations. He goes, what the hell did you just say? And I'm like...
He's like, that's what they're called.
And I'm like, that's the name of the band. He goes, you need to turn that off. So I turned it off, and I put in Two Live Crew, and it was like midway through the song, oh, me so horny, oh, me so... And I'm like 12 years old at the time, and I have no clue what horny meant. And my dad goes, what the hell is this? I'm like, Dad, it's Two Live Crew. He goes, do you know what they're saying? Yeah, me so horny. He goes, do you even know what that word means? And I'm like, I don't know. He's got a horn on his head?
That's awesome.
I'm like, I don't... when we're 12, we have no idea what we're talking about or what's going on in our heads, but we tend to make things work just fine. Yeah. And then we get exposed to Skinamax, and we're like, oh. So that's what happens. Oh, man. So now that we've talked about tours, we've talked about, firsts, who would you say are, whether they're musical or not, who are some of your inspirations in music and in life, and have gotten you to where you guys are at right now?
Well, I learned how to play guitar from Billy Joe because I would record on VHS every Green Day video that came on MTV, and I would just mimic his handwork, and that's how I learned how to play.
Oh, wow.
So I guess that's probably a huge inspiration. But musically now, I think I'm really into Anti-Flag when I think about writing a lot of stuff. It's kind of that band that's like, what would Anti-Flag do here?
Like I was saying before, obviously I like Pennywise, but when I started playing, me and Jared started playing in his basement because I found out he played the drums. And when I really started playing guitar, even though I really tried to hate Nirvana at first, I ended up really, really, really liking Nirvana, and that's probably what guided me through playing guitar at first, without a doubt.
You know, Chris and I both have, I can't speak for the other guys, but Chris and I both have fathers that play guitar.
Yeah.
My father used to force kind of music down my throat, and
I
was like, dude, Dad, I don't ever want to play how you're playing. You're like, I don't care about music theory, you know, like, and then I saw, like, across the street, my neighbor was playing out. I saw him once. I was like, dude, I want to play like that. You know, saw some punk rock the first time, and I was hooked, you know.
Yeah.
And always want to just play fast and
yeah. My dad was always into
aggressive.
blues.
Yeah,
blues,
me too.
blues. I was like, yeah, that's no.
And looking back, I'm like, man, I really regret not taking those free music lessons.
Right? Never a lesson in my life, but Billy Joe taught me.
Exactly, and never taken a music lesson.
Well, for me, it's kind of weird from the style of music I do play, but my earliest influence was actually Bill Bruford from Yes. I used to listen to Yes records a lot, and I did watch the style he played in. It's very much more jazz orientated, but it's kind of funny because the music I play now. But I do like to play all different kinds because actually it's kind of funny. I'll probably be kicked out of the punk rock community, but Fish is one of my favorite bands of all time. I'm a big jam band guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're out.
So,
Get out.
So I'm big into like Fish, Humphreys, Moe. Actually, within probably the last recent 3-4 years, I've listened to the Dead a lot. So yeah, kick me out of punk, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But for me,
I'm telling Fat Mike.
For me, it's what it's all about. You know, if I can get into the more music I can get into, the better. It's just gonna, heighten my musical experience, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but punk is where I lie and playing and stuff like that, and I've always liked playing fast. And but yeah, Bill Bruford was probably my first influence, and Neil Peart, obviously.
Neil Peart is the greatest drummer of all time. I say that in every episode because he is. He is the professor. They call him the professor for a reason. I'm just saying. In my opinion, he is the greatest drummer ever to pick up a set of sticks.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God, I love Neil Peart. If I ever met Neil Peart, I would faint.
Not many people ever will, because he doesn't like mean people. But, yeah, absolutely, I hear you.
He is my hero.
He is amazing. I'm with you there.
Man, I'm just saying. Oof, goodness gracious.
Yes, sir.
But, as we're talking about, like, everyone comes from like I said this 1,000 times, music, everybody has a different musical influence in life. But you got to remember, like, one of my favorite musical movies, Hustle and Flow, the line was said, everything comes from blues.
Yes.
Blues, and then it morphed into jazz, and into rock, and then into hard rock. The hair bands, the metal, the punk, everything came from blues rock. I'm just saying, and even before then, more classical type shit. Let me just tell you, I went when I was in college. Well, I'm still in college, but I had to take like a musical class, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Music appreciation and theory. That's great. Yeah, that sounds like something I'd want to take. I mean, we're going to cover all types of music, right? And you're like, oh yeah, that seems to be what it says. Let me just tell you, that was a load of crap.
I think I took that same course.
Because, oh my God, it was like all of like classical type music, and I was like falling asleep. Don't ask me how I got a B in that class because I bullshitted my way through half of it.
Right? Oh, that's okay.
But I got a B.
Was, like, on the piano, and he was like, "This is a C," and I was like, "Really?"
Thanks.
You know, and he was just like, "Okay, you had to know all the scales and what's the parameter and this, that, and the other thing," and I'm like, "Who cares? I'm going to school for business.
Right?
I don't need to know this." Oh man.
Music.
I mean, these things happen. So, yeah, the last song we got for you guys is Fight. The last song that's available on Reverbnation. And it's honestly, it's my favorite. That's why I always save the best for last. But,
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
You always got to save the best for last. But, you know, these things happen. Sometimes you got to put it first to really grab people's attentions.
True enough.
You know, when Jared and I are yelling "fight" in the kind of the chorus, I always picture like a fight when I'm yelling live. Like what would I yell if I actually saw a fight?
Yeah.
Fight.
As we do, yes. Yeah. Well, that's one of my favorites. It's such a fun song to play.
It's probably the most fun song to play. Definitely,
for sure.
Yeah. So, which I'm assuming, because this is now I don't know if you guys have listened to any of the episodes that I've had, which if I'm doing my math correctly, because I've had so much, you guys are episode 22. So yeah, I'm doing really well, guys. 22 episodes. And
thanks for having us.
Well, I truly appreciate you guys coming on. I'd love to have had you guys on sooner, but as you know, things blew up really quick for me. I didn't expect it to get as big as it did. Like, this all started with a dream that I had back in January, and I'm like, okay, we're just going to wait and see what happens. And then I was like, no, screw it. We're going to start with the first rule. Very much pun intended. And boom, it's like, dude, now I've gotten bands from all over the place, all over the country, even all over the world. I got a band from UK that I'm going to be interviewing next month. And cool. I'm really excited for that because that's going to be interesting as hell. But as I was saying, this is a question that I ask everybody because I'm a huge wrestling fan and I don't hide it. I have like 22 wrestling shirts. My bedroom is decked out in wrestling stuff. So much wrestling memorabilia, autographs galore. I don't care. I've been to so many wrestling shows. But here's the question for you guys. If a wrestler had came to you guys, the Union League, and said, I want to use one of your songs for an entrance song, what song would you actually hand them?
I think you just segued.
Yeah, I was going to say it's definitely Fight for me.
I assumed it would be Fight, which was why it was a great question to ask right now.
Yeah. It's funny because, no, that's awesome because back in, probably mid-90s up till probably about 2004, I was huge into wrestling too, and I went to every ECW show I could.
Oh, God, ECW was so amazing.
And they were the most amazing shows ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. I know all about all that stuff. So yeah, but yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, my roommate Kaylee, she was into wrestling, and I really got her into wrestling now because I get the WWE Network and I just watch random things like crazy because I have massive anxiety and I have depression. No big deal. Everybody suffers from something. I don't hide it. But when I have an anxiety attack, if I just sit down and watch some old wrestling, it calms me down.
Sure.
And it relaxes me. And so that's what I do. So having the network for me is almost like a priority in life. I'm just saying. But nice. I was watching like the top 50 moments in ECW history this morning, and Kaylee comes out and says, "Oh my gosh, where's the ropes?" I'm like, "The ropes are barbed wire in this match." And she goes, "Oh!" And it was the Sabu and Tommy Dreamer match. I think it was Sabu and Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, where he got his muscle ripped open.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!"
They did not mess around.
No,
New Jack was one of the craziest people I think I've ever seen. because I've been to all the shows in the ballroom, and every single time he came there, he would jump straight off the balcony onto anybody, and it was insane, man. I loved it. I loved it more than anything.
My guy in ECW, Wiz, was and always will be the Sandman.
Yeah,
and I love how when WCW was trying to get the ECW guys. Yeah. And they got Mikey Whipwreck, and there was a few other guys I think they got like Cash. And then when they got the Sandman, they changed his name to Hack, and they tried to really like make him a PG guy, and it was like, dude, no. You got the Sandman, it's not gonna happen. And
if he's not running down smoking cigarettes, drinking a beer with a kendo stick in his hand, it's not happening.
Within like 6 months, he was back on ECW, and it was just like, it's okay. He got his paycheck. And you guys kicked him to the curb. It's just like, dude, you can't take a guy like that and try and water him down for TV. It's just not going to happen. But, man, I love the Attitude Era. I loved ECW. You know, I loved WCW when there was the Monday Night War between Raw and Nitro. That was when WCW was good. And I remember growing up, you know, watching Hogan and the $1 Million Man and all that stuff. Like that was my childhood, you know, and that was like, you know,
the real Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. Legion of Doom.
Dude, what do you watch?
The Rockets.
Demolition.
Yeah.
Like I said,
this could be like a whole nother 2-hour podcast.
Exactly. Like I remember, like we watched WrestleMania, and this was when Undertaker was officially done. I sat there talking about, you know, moments that, you know, when famous people die or something that you cry. Yeah. Undertaker retiring kind of shed a tear to me, and I was like, I remember when he debuted. I remember watching that pay-per-view when he debuted for the first time.
Yep. Well, you know what, awesome. And I know a million fans agree with this, and I think it was, I know it was his decision, and that's cool, but they never should have made him lose.
Yeah. They should have never made him lose to who they lost to, because let me just tell you, how people hate Scott Walker and Roman Reigns, or Donald Trump. I'm going to link Roman Reigns in with that fight, because how people hate Scott Walker and Donald Trump in the state of Wisconsin. If you're a wrestling fan, Roman Reigns is like the equivalent of the hatred towards these guys. I'm just saying. And then you have an icon like The Undertaker lose to someone that is hated so much. Yeah. That was just completely wrong. Because Vince McMahon has a hard-on for Roman Reigns, and he wants to push him down our throats. But the more he shoves them down our throats, the more the fans boo.
Gig.
The wrestling fans are not stupid. Okay, let me just tell you that. We're very smart. Especially now that the internet is around. We grew even smarter. But anyway, we're getting off topic again. We always go on tangents, and we can sit there and talk about wrestling and our hatred for Walker and Trump all day long.
We'll talk about wrestling next time we're on.
Yes. Yeah, next time we'll talk about more. You know, we'll have him on again another time, and we'll talk about wrestling, and we'll talk about how much we want to, like, put, you know, wonderful wrestling moves like choke slams and such on, you know, Donald Trump and Scott Walker.
Yeah.
But we're going to play fight. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. No problem. Thank you so much for having us.
You know, I appreciate the time that you give me. And again, the first time I saw you guys, dude, seriously, other than the remarks towards Paul Walker, I really, truly enjoyed my time. And seriously, thank you guys for putting on an amazing show. And again, thank you for coming on. I truly appreciate it. And as I say always, guys, keep the trend moving, keep the trend alive. Hashtag support local music. It's going off in California. It's going off in Oregon now. It's starting down in Tennessee. Let's get it going all over the United States. Let's push it around the world. Keep local music alive, because every band, whether you like it or not, has started out as a local musician somehow, some way or another. So
all right.
Get out there and support local music.
We got 2 shows coming up. If we could plug those.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got one August 11th we're going to be playing Outbreak Billiards in Racine with Slaughter Party. And the other show we got, we're booking in October 21st. It's going to be at 1175. It's actually in Union Grove. We're going to have Size 5s there. Slaughter Party's definitely on it. I want to get at least 4 more bands on it. So, but as of right now, those are the 2 we got coming up. So.
Awesome. So make sure to check out those. You know what? I will more than likely be at that August show because I think that's not even far from my place. Plus, it's Slaughter Party, and Slaughter Party is an amazing band too, which they'll be on later in July. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one. But like I said, guys, keep the trend moving. # support local music, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Okay, thanks so much, Frank.
Thanks a lot. Peace.
Never let go.